Well, alrighty, fellas, good morning. Welcome to the beginning of day 10 of the third annual PokeMMO Shiny War. And as you can tell, I have a lot more energy. I'm in a better mood. Number one, I finally hit a shiny. I hit Shiny Altaria last night at 140, almost 1,000 encounters. I'm now, from my understanding, from what I've been told, the third driest Iron Man in the game. I think rank 1 is Chassels at 180k, and then rank 2 is Xerax at 150k. Both those guys have hit their shinies. I believe that now I am historically rank 3. That's just to our knowledge. Obviously that could be corrected, but Iron Man's a pretty small group, so keep that in mind, right? Pretty small, well-connected grinders. Okay, but I finally hit that. That was absolutely huge. My trip is currently sitting at 120,000 encounters. We've now done 121k in war alone. We're over at Scraggy today, and I wanted to show off, bro. This guy said that he got this shiny horsey while watching my Altaria video, and I was like, that's a pretty tight. It's only like a 7-minute video. That's a pretty tight window, you know. I looked over at the stats. Well, first the encounters, 5,000 encounters. Very lucky. Congratulations. 3 times 31. Man caught himself a 3 times 31 shiny while watching a 7-minute video. Just so happens, and it's nuts, like 3 times 31 is like 1 in 78 shinies. So after like your 78th OT, that's when you're around on average going to get a 3 times 31 shiny, for reference. Like, that is incredibly lucky and incredibly cool to see around that. Congratulations to you, man. And then apparently 362 encounters later, he said he took a nap, came back, and got himself a shiny Dawn fan. And look at the stats on this one. It's not 3 times or 2 times 31, but it's 25 plus in HP, attack, defense, and then 31 SPDEF, and then 20 plus speed. This is one of the best wild statted Dawn fans I've seen. Like, this guy is a beast at catching good IV shinies. Okay, I wanted to shout out him. There's FCM for Narf. So shout out to him. He's had some really crazy shinies, man. Next up, we do have a leaderboard update, okay? It's a pretty big one, dude. Eclipse has taken a pretty handed lead right now, being about 300 points. It's been about that the whole war, to be fair, but like 300 points ahead. They're at exactly 5,555 points heading into day 10. How poetic is that? Come on. ETG still fighting, still fucking going hard. They won. They don't want to be second place. They want to be first place again, dude. They're hungry. They miss it. Beans sitting well above the pack. Beans with that strong third place is so underrated. 4,400 points. Kraken, I think a sleeper hit of this event. Kraken, who has amazing drip, amazing sense of style. They have fucking crawled and worked and grinded their way up to 4th place. Very fucking impressive stuff from Kraken, who I really like their drip, and I really like their pirate hats, and I love their organization in game. BYD, 5th place at 3690. Dynasty, I've met a few Dynasty players, very nice players. 3666 points right now. Cinema at 3654. Radiance at 3563 at 8th place. ETG Team 2, the B team for ETG at top 10 at 9th place. Insane. And then at 10th place is my team, YouTube.com Patrouski. Check them out. Amazing YouTube channel. Not me, just Patrouski. It's a real one. 10th place at 3,381. We are about 350 points ahead of rank 11, and that's what's like, dude, which feels good, but also like you can't get laxed, because that's how Galaxy Squad went from like 2,700 to like 3,000. I swear, between going to bed last night and waking up. So you can't get relaxed, man. You can't get relaxed. You got to keep grinding. There's still a very long event ahead of us. 18 days left. You got Sweetheart Baby in 12th place, MN team in 13th, and then Team Brilliant in 14th place. All those teams are still in the running for top 10, and it is a fight, man. This year is so, I know I've said it like every stream recap, but it's true. I was in Discord yesterday with some of the higher end players, and this year is just so much more competitive. It is just nuts. Like, and I've seen so many people saying like even just getting top 50 is like so hard. Like, getting top 50 is so much harder than people expected. But I think that's everything I wanted to mention. I think that is our stream recap intro. I would love to see a wet streak today. I'm sure there will be more talking points that come up throughout the stream. But thank you guys for watching another PokeMMO stream recap, your daily source of tips, tricks, information, discussion, and conversation around the game. Make sure to like it if you enjoy it, dislike if not, and subscribe for daily PokeMMO videos. Let's go ahead and jump into things, and hopefully I can go on a wet streak today once again. This is a great question. How can the other teams even catch up to Eclipse? Is there any method off the top of your head where a team could catch up, or is it pure luck and grinding? It's definitely not pure luck. Strategy, there's some luck, don't get me wrong, and the longer the war goes on, the more that luck is evened out. When you have 30 people per, that's why we do 30 people teams and why we do 28 days, because if you do like a 1 week war, that would be way more RNG based, or like 7-player teams with something like that. Like 30-player teams, the more aggregate you have, right, the more your RNG evens out. I went 140k dry, but my team is still cooking, and hopefully now I can hit a wet streak and help my team out and even my RNG out, right? Or I'm just the RNG even out for my team, right? You know what I'm saying? So like, you got to just keep getting encounters. You're always helping your team just by getting encounters, and it's all about the aggregate. When you're in a shiny war team, you are an aggregate. You are not individual players. You are a group. You are one shiny hunting conglomerate. You are one like psychosomatic. We're one, like you're one thing. You're one. I'm not smart enough to talk like this, but you're one fucking thing. Okay, you are one giant blob. Now, I think in terms of like priority of things that matter during shiny war, I think strategy. Is it number 1 or number 2? Strategy is so important. All the unique and like duplicate species clause matters so much. It's hard to rank. I think grinding I think strategy might be rank 1. If you have a dog shit strategy, even if you grind so much, it doesn't really matter. Like strategy just matters so much, and like having like a understanding where people should go for what shunts and yada yada yada. I would say it goes like strategy, grinding, luck. Am I missing anything? Strategy, grinding, luck, in that order. Like luck plays a role, don't get me wrong, but that is just so evened out over time, you know. Top 50 is hours, top 10 is hours plus strats. Yes, for sure. Pretty much you get higher ranked for sure. Especially if you're over top, that's true. Like the lower your goal is, the less RNG even matters, but also RNG gets evened out. It's one of those things. I understand Shunting looks so RNG dependent outside looking in, and it does when you're looking at one shunt. I mean, if this war was decided by one shiny hunt, right? If this war was decided by one shiny hunt, I would be fucked. You know what I'm saying? But thankfully, it's a 28-day war, you know, so you have enough time to even out your RNG. Some people might not, but even then, if those people don't have time to even out their individual RNG, it'll impact their team still. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things. That's the main thing to factor in. But I understand why people call it luck. I have to have these discussions all war, like, oh, we're trying to war all luck. And hopefully people can see, like, I think the best testament, what I remind people of is, why do we see the same shunters at the top of the leaderboards each year? I think that is the same thing happens in like Magic the Gathering or in Pokemon PvP. Is Pokemon PvP all luck because there's critical hits and there's like T-Wave miss and Toxic miss and things like that, or Stone Edge, right? There's RNG, but you can min-max it and like kind of get around that and play around that, right? There's a reason why we see the top Pokemon PvPers consistently at the top of leaderboards. Same with Magic the Gathering or any competitive card game. So yes, there is RNG. I think it's important to acknowledge in Shiny War, but you can alienate most of it in 28 days with 30 players per team. It's a good question to talk about though, for sure. That's another interesting thing. Someone brought up, yeah, it's effort plus prep. I think the prep gets talked about a ton prior to war, but almost never during war. If you prepped enough during war, number one, you have the Leppas. But dude, for me, it's the eggs. Like as an Ironman account, I can't be popping eggs the same way other players can. I think prep is overrated. I think if you're a main account who can do eggs and stuff constantly, I think it's properly rated. But I get that. I think prep is overrated for like if you're going for top 50 or even top 10. Is that fair? Is that anarchy? I think that's actually based. That's a whole different point, but you're actually correct. I don't want players to think they can't go for top 50 because they didn't prep eggs or something like that. I think you don't need to. I think it's just grind and effort. It helps, but like eggs are not worth that many points this year. Dude, eggs are like 58 points from my understanding. Is that right, chat? Like if you get an egg, it's like 50 base points, and then if it's like unique species or whatever, you get like 58 or something like that. Like eggs are not, which sounds like a lot, but like there are 58 at most, bro. There are like hordes that are like 38 points. That's crazy that there are hordes, and obviously they're rarer hordes, but like what's the average horde? The average horde is like 18 points. It seems like around 18, I think. If the average horde is 18 points, is like the average horde compared to the best egg really like is 3 horde hunts equivalent to 1 egg hunt? I don't think so. Like egg hunts are way harder. They take like a few 100 hours, and hordes are like 30 hours a pop on average, right? I don't, not from what I've heard, Xanarchy. I think this is actually, with all due respect, Xanarchy, I think you're a very talented player. I think you're way off on the hours this year. I could be wrong. You can do top 50 doing 5.5 hours a day average, no eggs. I could not disagree with this more. I think this year it's like closer to 8 to 10. I have to talk to more players, but from all the players I've talked to, I know some really talented players not able to get top 50 this year, Xanarchy. Top 50 seems, and I think last year top 50 was like 6+ hours. I agree with you. I think this year it's like 8 to 10. And then I think this year top 10 is probably like 14 hours. Like it's and then top 3, I'm pretty sure nobody's averaging less than like 15-16 hours a day, which is a big difference between like 14 to 16. It's pretty nuts, man. No, that's so fair. It's so fair. Yeah. Only phase, which is like a pretty chill from my understanding, like, but like a lot of good shunners are in that team, but they're like more casual about it. I think they're struggling to get top 50. Like there's a lot of like really good players and good teams who are struggling to get top 50. They're playing more casually, obviously, but even then, like it's more harder than they thought, you know, type thing. There's like there's 258 teams this year. Dude, there's so much, man. Yeah. I try to tell people that this year's top, I guesstimated last year that it was like 6 hours. And I'm off my same guesstimate, so maybe my guesstimates are just wrong. Keep that in mind. Feel free to disagree. It's all we're all just guesstimating, so please feel free to disagree. I'm just gonna, you know, disagree respectfully. I hope that's okay. Anyways, what was I saying? There was a point that I wanted to talk about, but it's early. It's early in the morning. I'm just yapping. It's fun to talk about Shiny War, man. There's so much to talk about, dude. Shelf eggs, yeah, eggs. So eggs are like 58 points at the best, and then like the average horde is like 18 points. So like 3 hordes are like 1 egg. Dude, eggs are like not, I was thinking last night, like eggs are not that good, but what's really good is they're just passive. Like what makes eggs so crazy, not so crazy, they're honestly balanced. And also that's another element of RNG being balanced out. Eggs not being really broken is really good for RNG balance in Shiny War. Like the hordes being like really, I think the balance this year is the best it's ever been by far. I think every player would agree to that. I'm curious people's thoughts. I think this is by far the best Shiny War. I'm curious people's thoughts in chat. I think this is, I like the eggs are not OP. Me too. I mean, obviously I'm biased, but like eggs are not OP this year, which is good and bad. But what makes eggs good is they're passive. The fact that you can spend 1 hour making like 600, 700 eggs and then hatch them passively while you do other shunts, that's what's so good. You know what I'm saying? That's what's so good. And the fact you can prepare, I don't know how many, like is like 23 boxes you can have in PokeMMO, 20 boxes. The fact you can prepare like 20 boxes, let's say, times 60, you can prepare 1,200 eggs before war even begins. I think egg prep is, they being passive encounters just so freaking good. That's the main thing. You're doing encounters rare encounters while you do hordes like that or whatever. So I think the egg prep is definitely like crucial, and it being passive is under talked about in the casual spaces, not in the hardcore spaces, obviously. But yeah, I think that's all a big thing is like what's being discussed. This happened actually recently with and maybe I just used the wrong word. I put out a video yesterday called like, oh, like the new best strategy for like damp and stuff like that. And I call it the new best strategy because it's only really been adapted over the past few months. I only really heard about it over the past few months, you know, things like that. And a lot of players were like, this isn't new, it's been in the game and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, it's been in the game, but it hasn't been used by the players from what I see. And I could be wrong. I like to think that I have a pretty good grasp. Like, I think I talk to more Pokemon players than the average person. I think that's fair to say. Probably much more, right? I think so. That doesn't always mean I'm automatically correct, but it does mean that I have a good perspective of what players are using, what strategies, and what the average player looks like. I often find that the hardcore player forgets what the average player looks like. So what's new to the average player isn't new to them. So when they see like, oh, new strategy in the title, they can be like, oh, well, I've been using this strategy for 3 months, Patrouski, and it's like, that's awesome, that's really cool. This video is not for you then. Like, this video is for the average player who like doesn't know about, you know, the skill swap damp. I didn't know about skill swap damp for the past few months, you know, so that sort of thing. One more question someone mentioned. Let me just go back. It's always good to understand what video is for. Like, some videos are for new players, average, intermediate players, you know, hardcore players. Just depends on the video. What are Sinnoh pickup tables about that the devs announced? The Shiny Wars update. So Sinnoh didn't have pickup tables for the longest time, and they just added them. And nobody's really been able to talk about that, test them, hype them up. People have been asking for Sinnoh pickup tables for the longest time. This update added so many things that people have been asking for years, and we haven't even been really able to appreciate them because we're busy with Shiny War, which is like positives and negatives, like kind of beautiful, but also like, god damn it, you know. I want to test payday pickuping at Altering Cave so much more. I love to test payday pickuping at certain Sinnoh spots. Like I'm sure Sinnoh has a bunch of new like things. I wish Sinnoh had a roaming legendary, because that would be like really cool if you could payday pick up while going for roaming legendary. Like I think that'd be really sick. But maybe I think it's one of those things. One day, I'm full of the app today. Holy shit. Next topic. One day I would love to see roaming legendaries in each region. But the problem is roaming legendaries, the devs already have talked about, they don't love the way that roaming legendaries are implemented. They don't love them in design. And I like them. I wouldn't say I love them either, because they're just kind of like a single encounter grind. I think roaming legendaries are at their best when you are single encountering or making money or payday pickuping or doing something like that, and then you have the chance of a roaming legendary in the background. I think that when you are purposefully grinding just for the legendary, it feels not great. I'll be so honest. I think single encounter shunting feels better than that for whatever reason. But I like the idea of roamings being in each region, but I don't know if we'll end up seeing it, because I don't know if the devs love the implementation. It's one of those things. But I'd be cool with a passive. But do we really have enough like bad legendaries for 3 per each region? I know easy. Sinnoh is easy. You could do the lake spirits, which are not, you know, won't break shit, right? And then what's it called? Unova or Hoen's easy. You do the Reggie trio. Unova is the one, like what 3 legendaries do you do for Unova that wouldn't break the game? You can't do the genies. The genies are too good. The genies are way too good. I don't know. I'm not sure, honestly. Zenarchy's running some math, so if you've got math, like I'll fucking chalk it up to that. Top 50 is currently 885 points, which means 188.5 points per day, 6.1 points per day per player. Spots are 0.8 to point. Oh, dude, look at, I gotta trust the math. 0.8 to 1.2 points per hour generally. Dono, no charm. So 1 point per hour average. That means 6 hours of the team is well stratted. Now I respect. Hey, Xanarchy just fucking ran the math. I can't argue with that, man. If top 50 is 6 hours a day, my guesstimate would be is that it's closer to, not to like, I respect your math. Could we agree on 7? Because I bet you those players aren't playing efficiently. It depends on like I'm not playing efficiently. I'm probably averaging, dude, I don't know, 800, 900 counters an hour. Now different spots, obviously you have ×3s, you have what's it called? You have like reactive gas, ×5 horde spots. There are things that affect that, but that's probably super. I cannot say thank you enough for running that math, Zan. 6 hours a day efficiently probably evens out to like 7 hours a day, like actually playing. I think that's fair. I think that's reasonable. Or I would just take the 6 hours. I think that's fucking reasonable as hell. Thanks for running the math. So that's based on that math, like Xanarchy said, top 50 is around 6 hours per player. That's pretty sick, man. And that's no, you're right. No, you're right. Okay, I gotta, you know what? That is not including any shiny charms and 0 eggs. So even that is, yeah, that's a safe bet. You know what, Xanarchy? You win. I think that, like, not even like I think that's based. I appreciate you fucking correcting my math, correcting that. I was going off of vibes and the players that I've been talking to. If it's closer to 6 hours a day average, it's closer to 6 hours a day. I appreciate that, man. So it seems like that's good news for anybody grinding and shiny hunting in war. It seems like if all of your players are playing around 6 hours a day, you can get top 50 right now. So that's a good hope, honestly. I think it's still a lot of hours of playing video games. Don't get me wrong, but it's achievable. It's achievable. You know what I'm saying? Here, Shusuke asked, like, should I be fish and shunting right now or like focus on making money? I think players should be focusing on shiny hunting right now. During war, like even if the average player, even if you end war as the average player with 0 Pokeyen, but you shunted all of war and like got a lot of got some shinies, you know, and like made some progress in that. If you, this is all assuming you care about shinies and care about shiny hunting, of course. If you care about shiny hunting, you like shiny hunting, definitely prioritize it during war. That 10% boost is really significant, right? Pop a donator status, do your shiny hunting. He said that you had about 1 million Pokeyen cash. I think that if you do your gym rerun every day and make like 200 to 300k, then you can afford chum buckets to go fishing shiny hunt, pop dinner status, have the world boost from war, and then I would say prioritize fishing shunting right now during war over money making and over progressing your account in an overall sense. And then once war is over, you can just get back to money. You can do that whenever. The limited time nature of the 10% boost of shiny war, I think is very powerful and must be considered. For sure, in my opinion. But it obviously whatever you prefer, if you like building your account, you want to do it safer, and it's fine. The little risky, if you don't shunt enough to get a shiny before the end of war on average, like that's where it's like, okay, maybe it's not worth for you, but it depends. If you're, hopefully you're shut, if you shun as much hours as you can, you know, with fun and comfortability. Speaking of, I want to actually mention, Xanarchy did say earlier, I didn't get this in the clip, so my apologies. Xanarchy, I believe, said that to be in top 10, players are averaging about 12 to 13 hours a day. So it was about double. So it seems like to be in top 50, it's around 6 hours a day based on points. To be in top 10, it's around 12.9, I think is what he said. So like 12 to 13 hours a day to be in top 10. I'm doing about 16 right now, I think. And then he said to be in top 3. This was what blew my mind. He said to be in top 3, players are playing around 18.5 hours a day on average. On average. Now, that is not sustainable for the whole war. We got 18 more days left. That's insane. But that's like 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night. Probably 5 hours if, you know, you got to squeeze a shower in, blah, blah, blah. Like that's probably 5 hours a night of sleep consistently. That's insane. That is crazy, dude. Okay, I'm really curious. Let's try to get my calculator up and run some math. Someone asked, is shiny hunting dittos profitable right now? Or shiny hunting dittos should be profitable. I don't think using Leppas is the way to like hunt dittos for profit. I think it's just too expensive. I don't think you actually make good profit. I think what you do is you do ×5 hordes next at Desert Underpass for free. I know that you can phase, right? 2 mil per Leppa hunt. Isn't it 3 mil per Leppa hunt? Aren't Leppas... Let's calc it. 800 a piece times... You need 3,000 Leppas. I guess it's 2,700. Okay, no, you're spitting. During war, it's 2,700. That'd be 2,700 times 800. Okay. So during war specifically, let me get rid of the business cat. Let me move it here. The business cat's perfect for this discussion. Okay. Is shiny hunting finally profitable? Okay. That's the question. All right, one sec. Okay. It would cost you 2.2 mil to hunt a ditto with Leppas, which is a 100% spawn, I believe, over at Giant Chasm. That's correct, chat. Right, chat? And then I believe shiny dittos. Let me just get the notepad off screen too. Fuck it. Clean up the screen a little bit for this. A shiny ditto right now is around 4 million Pokeyen. Which is, oh, they're getting lower. 3.75. So, okay. Let's assume you make about 1.6 mil Pokeyen per shiny, right? 1.6 mil. You would do 1.6 mil divided by the 27 hours on average. That's 60K an hour. You guys can't, why is my calculator so stuffed? My apologies. You guys can't see it, but it's 59. It's 59K. That's 59K an hour. That's awful. That's not good. That is not good, Pokeyen. Don't recommend that, even if you're something like that. Okay. Now, what I want to calc is how much money, how much Pokeyen per hour can you make doing the free hunt? Okay, the free hunt. I'm having internet issues. My apologies, but the clip still stands. Okay, the free shunt would be 27,000 times 1.5, because you're gonna get. There's two phases. There's Raticate. I believe. No, sorry, Loudred. There's Loudred there and Ditto. But I guess if you're selling the Loudred as well, to be fair, you could just also sell the Loudred. Let me check. Shiny Egg Group Monster. The cheapest is 2 mil. Okay, we're gonna calc that. We're gonna keep that in mind. Okay. Yeah, Leppa cost just makes the profit not good. Is the problem for 100% Ditto spawn. Okay. Now we're gonna do 40,500 is the average encounters per a Ditto. Let's just split it. We're just guesstimating. Let's just say if a Ditto on average sells for like 4 mil, 3.7, and the Monster Egg Group sells for 2 mil. Let's just say your average shiny is 3 mil. Okay, is that easy math for everybody? Let's say your average shiny is 3 mil Pokeyen over at that spot, and it takes about 27 hours to get a shiny there. So you would do 3 mil. That's pretty. That's probably much better than the Leppa's Ditto spot, right? So you would do 3 mil divided by 27. That's 111K an hour. That's actually interesting. That is like actually the most interesting. So free, if you want to like shine, if you really, you could, there's better methods. You could just ditto hunt or fossil hunt or do all types of things. But if you really want to shiny hunt for profit, doing the free ditto spot over at Desert Underpass should be about 111k thousand Pokeyen per hour. That's that, which I think is kind of interesting. That's some of the most you've ever seen. Dude, there is no fucking way you got both of these during war. The same war. That's insane. Bro, and he got Fortress as well during Altering Cave. So we got a Fortress during an Altering Cave. That's a good one. He got Shield on day 1 of the war. Day 1 at 34,000 encounters dry. Shunt, Sahur. Congratulations. And then to get a Kabuto at 5,400 encounters 8 days later, he got 2 fossils in 1 war. One from a... Are you kidding me? 1 from a fossil, 1 from a dust ball. Both having... that doesn't even have... that's insane. No, it doesn't get guaranteed, doesn't it? No, my apologies. This one being 2 times. Dude, that's crazy. That is crazy. Congratulations, man. Bro, I just realized this is normally... Wait, it's August, guys. This is normally where I start telling people to prepare for event season. But Shiny War has had me so distracted. Oh my goodness. Bro, start preparing now. We're going to be seeing raids return in PokeMMO in 2 months. That's crazy. 2 months. I have a video called like every Pokemon you need for raids in PokeMMO and tons of raid guides. If you look up like Halloween raid guides, Xmas raid guides, and then Lunar New Year raid guides, I have guides for each individual event, and all the Pokemon you'll need for those. Last year's guides for those will be accurate to this year from our knowledge, at least 90% so. We won't know the 10% until we see the updates. But that's crazy. I didn't even think about that. That's nuts. I have 1,000 hours played. I've never done a raid. Doing the event seasons, doing all the raids is a great... I do think after the first time you do it, it's not as special, I'll be honest. But your first time, oh man, it's a blast. I think your first time going through all that is like really, really cool. The magic wears off, I would say. It's stuff, but like the first time is fucking cinema. Yeah, for anybody looking forward to that, event season is coming up, boys. Great, one of the best times in game to make Pokeyen, play cool things like raids and PVM and dungeons. Check it out. Preparation is key when it comes to event season, so prepare now. Someone just sent me this Shedinja and said, got an insane cop the other day. I'm going to show you this Shedinja really quick and explain why it's a big deal. This Shedinja, okay, EV trained, whatever, you know, cool Shedinja. 5 times 31. You cannot breed up the stats on a Shedinja. That's a wild 5 times 31. Now you can like influence the rolls of a Shedinja. So if you like evolve a 6 times 31 Ninkata, it's more likely for it to have good stats, but not like this. And it's lonely, which is a perfect nature, which is a good nature. This is a usable. He said he got it for 500k. This is, yeah, perfect PvP nature. Yeah, this is cheap. This is like a collectible, bro. This is really crazy. This is pretty nuts. He said it's perfect PvP nature because Porygon download in PvP you actually want low defense. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Hate from Australia.
Thank you for the hate from Australia. Much love to you, man. This is sick though. I wanted to show this off. This is fucking sick. This is really fucking cool. But alrighty, fellas, we are ending the day 10 stream at only 457 encounters. We got ourselves a 9,000 encounter shiny Ariados today. Not too shabby. I don't even, our hours played. We have to log out for hours played or whatever. We are at 127,000 encounters on our trip. Just not doing too shabby, fellas. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like the video if you did, dislike if not, subscribe for daily Pokemon videos. I do upload every single day. Follow me on Twitch for streams, Discord down below. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the content, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal and Venmo are down below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. I will see you guys later. But for now, peace, Reno. Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here, and I want to take this moment to say thank you to everybody who goes above and beyond, and thank you as the viewer to making it to the end of the video. I hope it was helpful today and maybe even a little bit of fun. Thanks again for watching, and have a good one.